Welcome to Infinite Novel. Dive into epic alternate realities. All rights to original creators.
Chapter 201 Frankie transforms into Pluton. Luffy, what about the ones below? Zoro stood on the edge of the cliff, and asked the Onigashima Island waste in the canyon. It is estimated that not many will survive, so don't worry about it. Luffy shook his head, then looked in the direction of Zo, and said, Buggy, go to Zo and tell the Nekomamushi and Inuyagarashi that the beast's pirates are gone. Buggy nodded and... Luffy shook his head, just tell them that the beast's pirates are gone. We don't care about other things. When Luffy was in Zo before, although Nekomamushi and Inuyagarashi did not say anything about Reizu and Wano, Luffy used the voice of all things in the forest. He heard something about the ninja. He also know the relationship between the Nekomamushi, Reizu, and Wano. After coming to Wano, Luffy and Buggy walked around Wano first, and through talking with civilians along the way, they learned a lot about Wano. For example, there are so many warriors in this country. There is still a group of people who want to resist the rule of Kaido and Kurozumai Orokai hidden in the dark. Now that the beast's pirates have been wiped out, the mountain of terror that weighed on these people has disappeared, and for the resistance movement, they can do it by themselves. Let Zo's Mink and Wano's warriors/samurai do the rest. In this way, they will cherish this hard-won victory even more. Okay, got it. Buggy immediately took off and flew towards Zo. Afterwards, the Straw Hat Pirates, carried by Luffy's Rubberman balloon, landed back on the ground of ancient Wano. When Luffy and the others found Frankie, he had already found Pluton. It is a huge battleship, sleeping in the underground riverbed inside the mountain. Luffy, seeing Luffy and others coming, Frankie immediately said excitedly, this Pluton battleship can actually be used. It really deserves to be one of the 3 ancient weapons. Luffy nodded, feeling very shocked. After all, it has been soaked in water for hundreds of years. Not only is it not damaged, but it can still be used. He has to marvel at the strength of the shipbuilders 800 years ago. Usopp came to the front, looked up at the huge monstrosity in front of him, and murmured, can this thing really destroy an island with one shot? Yeah. Frankie nodded, and then excitedly introduced to everyone, I have checked its condition, everything is fine. My god. If you say that, then we take this Pluton warship away, wouldn't we be able to conquer the sea? Chopper opened his mouth wide and said in shock. Nami shouted excitedly, great. With the Pluton, if the world government wants to deal with Luffy again, we will blow them up with one shot. With it, we have the firepower that is many times stronger than Buster Call. Robin murmured. However, Frankie poured cold water on everyone. The truth is, but we can't take it away. Why? Didn't you say it's in a fine condition? Zoro looked at the Pluton suspiciously. The power supply used to start the Pluton battleship is a backup power supply. At most, it can only maintain the light and living facilities on the ship. Cannot be used to power all the ship. The energy compartment of the Pluton battleship is empty. It should have been used to store the special energy device for the Pluton battleship, but I searched the entire Pluton battleship, and found no relevant energy devices. To put it bluntly, the remaining power supply inside the Pluton battleship is stored in the backup power supply. If there is no new energy device to continuously supply power, when the spare power in the Pluton battleship is completely consumed, it will not even be able to sail. And, if you want to use the Pluton cannon, you must have a powerful energy device to a certain extent. Frankie explained. Then we can't go sail the sea with such a big warship. Chopper's face showed a disappointed expression. Frankie spread his hands. Yes, but we can't keep the Pluton battleship here. Once the world government gets it, maybe they have the mean to power the Pluto. Robin looked at the other and reminded. As a survivor of O'Hara, Robin understands how terrible the disaster this ancient weapon can bring to ordinary people if they can't take it away. Robin thinks the best way is to destroy it. Luffy thought for a moment, then nodded slightly. That's right, this kind of thing. If it can't be in our hands, then it must be destroyed. Nami shrugged her shoulders, then wait for Buggy to come, and let him split the Pluton and send it to the sea. No need. I think it's better for Frankie to eat it instead. Luffy shook his head with a smile, then patted Frankie on the shoulder. Just work hard and eat the entire Pluton. Frankie hearing this, Frankie shows a stunned expression, but after thinking it, Luffy was right. As a Munch fruit user, if he eats the Pluton battleship, he can turn the Pluton battleship into a part of himself. Although it is impossible for him to become the original Pluton, at least all the structure and data of the Pluton battleship will be completely digested in his mind. In this way, as long as there are enough materials, he can definitely recreate the Pluton. Moreover, because of the ability of Munch fruit, some functions of the Pluton battleship can also be used by Frankie. Okay. Then let me eat the Pluton. Speaking, Frankie opened his mouth wide and bit the hull of the Pluton battleship. Capone big, this fruit ability, it really can eat anything. Basil Hawkins, I'm wondering, after he eats the Pluton battleship, can he destroy an inland with just one shot? Drake, it's hard to say. Didn't he just say that the Pluton battleship seems to have no energy device, so it can't fire the cannon? I don't know if he still needs the energy device after eating it. Scratchmanapu, if he can fire it without energy, then Munch fruit is too heaven-defying. In the evening, Frankie finally finished eating the entire Pluton battleship. Burp. Even Munch fruit ability users have to burp after eating such a big ship. Luffy touched Frankie's chubby belly, and asked curiously, how is it? Can you use the ability of the Pluton battleship? I'll give it a try. Frankie stood up and activated the Munch fruit ability. The next moment, a large number of technological devices began to flip outwards from the surface of his body. As these technological devices continue to be uncovered, Frankie's body is getting bigger and bigger. In a blink of an eye, his size has surpassed the size of an adult giant. Then, he continued to transform. They saw him bent down and put his limbs on the ground, like the four supports of a fort, firmly fixed. Then, he pouted his butt, and a huge cannon barrel protruded from it. The muzzle of this gun is definitely not as big as the main gun of the Pluton battleship just now, but it is at least 1/5 of the caliber. Amidst a burst of mechanical collision sound full of texture, the muzzle of this giant gun has been raised to at least 100 meters high. At this moment, Frankie is like a small Pluton. Icebug, put. Frankie, Icebug, why are you laughing? Icebug, cough cough, I'm sorry, I really can't hold back, ha ha ha. Vinsmoke Sanji, ha ha ha. This is outrageous Capone Beeg, this is even more outrageous than my castle. Gold Roger, OMG. This kid's transformation is amazing. Shiki, I am convinced by the angle of the muzzle. If my ship is flying in the air, I am afraid he will shoot it down with one shot. Edward Newgate, this still needs to be fired? Didn't you see that his cannon barrel is nearly 100 meters long? He only needs to twist his buttocks, and it is estimated that this cannon barrel can kill your flying pirate ship. Marco, ha ha ha. Frankie, damn it. As a transformation, I feel that this is too much. Tony Chopper, no wow. Frankie, your transformation is so cool, you sup, yeah. Man's cannon, so romantic. Frankie, whoa. I'm so happy to hear this. Super. When the scene of Frankie's transformation appeared in front of everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates, everyone opened their mouths in shock. Everybody's jaw dropped to the ground in shock. This. Sanji gritted his teeth, and the eyeballs of shock were to spit out. Chopper jumped up excitedly, holding up his little hoof. Oh, so cool, Frankie, hey. This is absolutely the most amazing transformation in the world. Usopp's eyes are full of fanaticism. Nami and Robin silently turned their heads away. The corners of Luffy's mouth twitched, and he said bluntly, can you shoot it? Frankie shook his head, no. I don't have a matching power source. If I can find a matching power source, I think it should be able to do it. Then he added, but the power may not be as powerful as the original Pluton cannon. The 100-meter barrel is already my limit, so the power of my transformed Pluton cannon is 1/5 of it original. 1/5. Hearing this data, Luffy couldn't help but widen his eyes. It's so strong. The power of this shot can reach 1/5 of that of a Pluton cannon. If the Pluton battleship destroys the island with one shot, then Frankie can destroy the island with 5 shots, which is definitely enough to destroy the world. If they can really achieve such power, Luffy will definitely be satisfied. Borsalino, woo, this can actually fire the cannon. I thought this thing was for show. Rocks D, Xebec, hahaha, Kyuzan. Sakazuki, Borsalino, you idiot. Tsuru, it seems that Munch fruit should be listed as an important fruit. Once you master the Munch fruit, it is equivalent to having the opportunity to master a mobile Pluton cannon. Kong, that's right. Wapol, damn it. This damn viewing system, now I need to lay low. Seeing that Marine began to pay attention to his Munch fruit, Wapol was so scared that his pants were wet. The incident with the Blackbeard Pirates last time exhausted him. Now that he is on the run, if he is targeted by the world government, then he will be in danger. Fixed the matter of the Pluton battleship, Luffy and others rested in Wano for a few days. During this period, the alliance formed by Zou and the Wano samurai began to attack Kurozumi Orokai. During the period, Yamato climbed out of the ruins of Onigashima Island and joined the battle without the Beast's pirates as a backer. The power of Kurozumi will naturally be unable to stop them. When all 8 heads were chopped off, the sky in Wano cleared up completely. Then Wano held a ceremony to celebrate their new freedom. The Straw Hat Pirates sat somewhere in Fujiyama, watching the fireworks all over the sky, and had a rare leisure time. Wano's new shogun is named Kojiki Hiyori. The next day, Thousand Sunny left Wano and sailed to the sea. Then the video with the red border slowly dimmed. The screen disappears. Kojiki Oden, it's Hiyori who became the new shogun. My poor son Momonosuke died so young. Edward Newgate, Hiyori is also good. I remember she was very strong when she was young. Gold Roger. Anyway, Wano over there has also returned to normal, and it has also opened the country. The result is good. Kojiki Oden, hey, that's right. Although Momonosuke died, Hiyori was able to carry the banner of Wano. As a father, I am also very proud. Gold Roger and Red Border. Luffy solved the matter of the Pluton battleship, so that the Wano over there will no longer receive the attention of the world government. Kojiki Oden, yeah. Chapter 202. Chapter 202. Vegapunk. Seraphim is no longer made. The mother. The screen appears, and the white border screen started playing. After recovering from their dangerous descent down Wano's waterfall, Nami put Luffy in a cage to punish him. They then received the newspaper, learning of their new bounties and about the many massive events that had occurred during their time on Wano. They were horrified at the news of Cobra's death and Vivi's disappearance. Luffy immediately wanted to go and rescue Vivi, but Zoro talked him out of it, saying they should allow Vivi to take care of herself until it becomes clear she was in imminent danger. Luffy refused to believe that Sabo would kill Cobra, recalling the time he declared his dream to Sabo and Ace and thus revealing it to his crew for the first time. They reacted with a mixture of disbelief, wonder and glee. Sanji laughed and said Luffy needed his brain examined. Usopp said that such a thing would be impossible, but Luffy replied that the Pirate King might be able to do it. Frankie declared that they needed to find the last road poneglyph to help their captain become Pirate King and achieve the dream as soon as possible, but Robin adds that it would not be easy as its whereabouts had been unknown for a long period of time. A few days after their departure from Wano, the Straw Hats were in a brutally cold climate zone. As they approached their next island, they came across a giant warm eddy, and spotted a person trapped inside it. Zoro cut through the eddy to free them, and Jewelry Bonnie emerged in child form. Luffy jumped in midair and stretched his arms to catch her as well as a blown overboard chopper, but the Sunny and crew then came under attack by Mecha Shark, a giant shark made out of metal. As Luffy, Bonnie, and Chopper fell into the ocean, Jinbe went to rescue them while Frankie tried piloting the Sunny out of harm's way. However, Mecha Shark fired homing torpedoes out of its mouth, causing the Sunny to capsize and sink. It then attacked Jinbe's group with cannon fire as the fishman tried to save the Devil Fruit users, forcing him to dive underwater to escape. Mecha Shark turned its attention back to the Sunny but was suddenly punched by a person inside a giant mecha. The Straw Hat's savior introduces herself as Dr. Vegapunk. Jinbe brought Luffy, Chopper, and Bonnie onto the nearby island, where they dried their clothes and got warm. Bonnie revealed who she was to Luffy and told the three-stranded Straw Hats that they were in Egghead, an island home to Dr. Vegapunk's research labs and said to be 500 years in the future. She revealed that she came alone as she had business with Vegapunk, though her ship was devoured by Mecha Shark before she could reach the island. The four then enter the island, where they were dazzled by the futuristic sights of aliens, giant robots, and giant parfaits. However, upon interacting with them, they soon realized they were all holograms. Annoyed, Luffy punches a large robotic girl that talked to him, only to find out it was real when he was punched back. He was knocked into the automatic food machine, which the pirates were very delighted to discover and started playing around with it. As they ate the food dispensed from the machine, the girl started explaining some of the technology around them, the island AC that kept the island warm despite being a winter island, and her light pressure gloves that allow her to interact with holograms. When inquired who she was, she claimed to be Dr. Vegapunk, though Bonnie, who said she knew the real Vegapunk, immediately claimed she was lying, and she herself then explained that she is a clone of Vegapunk. CP0's Lucci, Keiku, Esper and Stussy on the way to Egghead, and according to the order of the world's government, they were ordered to eliminate Vegapunk. The reason is because Vegapunk also started to study the Void Century afterwards. Seraph S Snake, S Eagle, S Bear and S Shark appeared on the screen, showing their great strength. Sengoku, wait, did Vegapunk actually create such a powerful soldier? Vegapunk, not yet, isn't this plan just started? The funds haven't arrived yet. Jun, this is 2 years later. In other words, Vegapunk has developed the Seraphim in 2 years? Queen, as expected of you, Vegapunk. Even Paramecia's ability can be reproduced perfectly, unlike the idiot Caesar, who can't even understand Zoan Caesar, bastard queen. I can at least make the ingredients for artificial Zoan devil fruit. You are worse than me, king, it's outrageous. The flames behind them are the innate abilities of the Lunaria tribe. Watching the battle scene of Seraphim in the video, even King, who is the only survivor of the Lunaria clan, was shocked their Lunaria clan's body-protecting divine fire can provide them with almost invincible defense, but this defense has a cooling time. But these blazing angels body-protecting fire made by Vegapunk can keep burning. This is really unbelievable. Kaido, damn it. If I can get such a technology, why do I need an army of Zoan? Shanks, wahaha, that's my hawk. Ha ha ha. Dracula my hawk, it's really funny to use a kid version of us to make the model of Seraphim Dunquixote da Flamingo. What's more ironic than this is that the reason why the world government abolished the Shishibukai system 2 years later in the white border video just now is because Marine made breakthroughs in this technology and invented new weapons of war. Now it seems, the so-called new weapons of war should be these Seraphims, right? Jinbei, it's really too much to use us as model for a war weapons to eliminate us. Sakazuki, good. With such a powerful weapon of war, pirates will definitely be wiped out. Shiki, gee ha 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 ha. Akainu, are you stupid? Didn't you see the screen just now? Didn't you see that the world government has sent CP0 to kill Vegapunk? Do you think that according to the current situation, Vegapunk will help the world government to get Seraphim? Vegapunk, yes, I have to run, Gold Roger, ha ha ha. Charlotte Linlin Stussy, you'd better run away from me too. You're a CP0. When she thinks that the queen of the pleasure district, who is very close to her, is actually a spy that the world government has placed beside her. It make Big Mom mad. Stussy, hey, this viewing system makes me unable to taste Linlin's desserts in the future. Guernica, it seems that you have to return to the team. Because of the help of the Straw Hat Pirates, they quickly controlled all the people in CP0. Even though Lucci and Keiku are all awakened, they are still vulnerable to Luffy and Nika form. At the critical moment, Lucci got base, so that the control of Seraphim fell into the hands of the CP0, and the situation on the battlefield was reversed all of a sudden. But Lucci did not have the upper hand for too long. Stussy suddenly made a move to get rid of Keiku and Lucci, because Stussy's true identity is a successful clone from Mads, a clone of Buckingham Stussy. Afterwards, the situation in Egghead reversed again. Vegapunk and the Straw Hat Pirates are back in control. Guernica, nanny? Stussy is actually a clone. No wonder her appearance hasn't changed for so many years. Kong, Vegapunk trick us. He actually planted spies in the world's highest espionage organization. Stussy, hey, it seems that I need to run too. Charlotte Linlin, you bastard, you're still a spy. Stussy, I was made by Vegapunk, he is like my father, I listen to my father, is it normal? Charlotte Linlin, it's normal, but if you come to me to spy on my activity, that's the problem. Stussy, I can't help it, I'm undercover in CP0, and the CP0 organization order me the task, so I have to do it. Charlotte Linlin, okay, what you say is logical. but I will never forgive you. Everything seems to be back under the control of Vegapunk and others, but it happened again. The Seraphim actually launched an indiscriminate attack and began to clean up Egghead's personnel. The Straw Hat Pirates are at a loss, but facing Seraphim's immortal body and powerful attack power, they can only fight. Afterwards, they removed the sea stone handcuffs of Lucci and Keiku, and let them join the battle. And the black hand behind all this has finally surfaced. It's actually Vegapunk's number 6 clone representing Desire, York. It turns out that she secretly colluded with 5 elders. The 5 elder promise her the status of Tenryu Obito if she can get all Vegapunk data and the Mother Flame. She even killed 2 clones of Vegapunk. York, what? This is not me, Vegapunk, Desire. If it's another clone, then I definitely don't believe it. But you represent my Desire. It is indeed possible for you to do this kind of thing. Atlas, Lilith, you go to lock York up later and never let her out without my permission. Atlas, got it. Lilith, I like to do this. He St. J. Garcia Saturn Vegapunk. Are you sure you want to fight against the world government? Vegapunk, the video of the viewing system has been released. Do you think we still have any room for negotiation? However, the Mother Flame was mentioned in the video just now. It seems that I really created that thing. St. Marcus Mars Vegapunk, as long as you don't touch the taboo of the Void Century, and don't touch the ancient weapon that will endanger world peace, then we can let the past go, and you can continue to do research for the world government with a peace of mind. Rox D, Xebec, ha ha ha. Since Vegapunk is the smartest man in the world, do you think he might believe your deceptive words? Vegapunk, of course not. Gol D Roger, haha. At the time when the Straw Hat Pirates fighting in Egghead Island New World, Elbaf, Land of Giants, the Kid Pirates appeared here on the opposite side of them. The pirate fleet appeared in addition to the flags of their own regiment. The flags of the Red Hair Pirates' large fleet were also hoisted on those pirate ships. Kid Eustace, am I at war with the Red Hair Pirates? Capone Big, Kid, this guy is really brave. He just defeated Big Mom before. Is he going to fight the Red Hair Pirates now? Charlotte Perospero, this little bastard can even defeat my mother. The handicapped redhead should die in his hands. Sasaki, there can only be one redhead at sea. It seems reasonable that Kid, the redhead, defeats Shanks, the redhead, and thus becomes the new emperors. Ben Beckman, hey, what a mess. The port of Elbaf, Red Hair Pirates Red Force is also docked here, huh? I just stopped by, and I didn't expect to meet a big shot. Shanks suddenly noticed the approaching Kid pirate ship on the sea ahead, raised his eyebrows, and a look of surprise appeared on his face. Then, he pointed to a pirate with a loud voice, and said, go and inform those ships to withdraw quickly. What it, big boss? Don't worry, with us here, we won't let the enemy touch a finger of yours. That's enough, I've got my own thing. They are just messing around Therum, let them withdraw. Shanks waved his hand, then walked towards the bow. At this time, Kid was standing in front of the Kid pirate ship, and a large number of instruments in his left hand were quickly assembled into an electromagnetic gun with a skull logo. Whoever they are, within 10 seconds, they will all disappear under my gun. He pointed the muzzle forward, and the strong magnetic energy burst out. Suddenly those pirate ships seemed to be attracted by the magnetic force. All of them automatically gather in the direction of the muzzle. At this moment, Shanks and Ben Beckman frowned at the same time. In their observation haki, they all saw a terrible future. If the bombardment of Kid is allowed to come down, all those ships on the sea will be destroyed. Without any hesitation, Shanks stepped on his feet, and his figure was like a gust of wind passing through the sea and sky in an instant. Divine departure. Shanks slashed out with his sword, and the majestic conqueror's haki exploded with the wind. They saw the electromagnetic cannon on Kid's arm collapsed and it was all shattered brush. After the powerful slash, the main force of the entire Kid pirate group destroyed. Boss, get out of the way. At this time, on the shore, Brogy and Dory waved their weapons at the same time. Heikoku sovereignty. Boom! The shock waves exhibited by the two giants are like light cannonballs. The Kid pirate ship fell apart in an instant. It turned into countless fragments and fell into the sea. Kid Pirates was completely eradicated. Kid Eustace, Nanny, Gol D Roger, wow. Ha ha ha. Little Shanks, actually used my moves. Silver Rayleigh Roger, Shanks' attack is stronger than your attack. Gol D Roger, ha ha ha. No way, who made Little Shanks Conqueror's haki practice to such a powerful level? At this point, I can't keep up. Shanks, Captain, you keep joking around. Capone Big, this attack, isn't it too strong? Did Kid get instantly killed? Killer, damn it, I've already helped fought with Kid, but in a 2-on-1 situation, we were still crushed. Drake, this gap in strength is a bit big. Momonga, if you want to put it this way, Big Mom is indeed seen weaker. Suru, you can't say that. After all, Big Mom faced the attacks of Kid and Trafalgar Law at the same time, and, even if it is under such circumstances, the two of them also paid a considerable price. Jun, yes. If they didn't knock Big Mom into the lava below in the end, Big Mom might not be defeated. Shanks, Kid in the video just now seems to be recovering from his injury at Wano. Kid Eustace, damn. Do you think I will accept this humiliation? Losing is losing. Only weak people use injuries as excuses. Redhead, you listen. Although I lost to you in the future, I will not give up. Shanks, ah ha ha ha. That's great, there are not many energetic little guys like you. At the same time Blackbeard, Van Augur, Doc Q and Burgess appear. In front of them, the Heart Pirates were lying on the ground covered in blood, naturally including Trafalgar Law, the captain of the Heart Pirates. Trafalgar Law, damn, am I screwed too? Basil Hawkins, you two really are brother in fate. Charlotte Perospero, haha. This is what happens when you beat Mother. This is the curse is from Mother. Lick Charlotte Linlin, that's right. These two little bastards deserve it. Just when Blackbeard was about to take away Trafalgar Law's op fruit, Bopo suddenly exploded. Although there is no moon in the sky, Bopo still takes the Solong form, sending out a sudden berserk attack, forcing Blackbeard and others back. Then he grabbed Trafalgar Law, and rushed towards the deep sea at a very fast speed. Chapter 203 I'm pushing the whole world to the opposite side with his own power revolutionary headquarters. Shemale Island Sabo is telling Monkey D. Dragon and Ivankov what he saw and heard in Marie Joy's when he lurks in the main hall where the empty throne is located. He actually saw a person sitting on the throne. 5 elders all knelt on the ground in front of this person, calling him Lord I'm. Not only that, Nefertari Cobra, the king of Alabasta, is also present. Sengoku, this is a lie. No one is allowed to sit on the empty throne. This is a rule jointly established by the kings of 20 countries who established the world government 800 years ago. Tsuru, yes, the throne has been empty for hundreds of years. Zephyr, is he lying? Monkey D. Dragon, impossible. Sabo won't lie to me. If he said he saw someone on the empty throne, someone must be sitting there. It would seem on the surface the world government represents peace, but behind the scenes, someone has quietly become the king? Roxty, Xebec, sure enough, I have long felt that something is wrong with the world government. Sure enough, that is the case. Saint J. Garcia Saturn, what are you guessing? That's just a one-sided statement of the Revolutionary Army. They want to fight against the world government, so they use this reason to pull people, isn't it obvious? Saint Marcus Mars, that's right, only a fool would believe this kind of trick. But at this moment, following Sabo's narration, a small screen appeared in the white border screen. What appeared on the small screen was exactly what Sabo had in mind. That is, Sabo's memory is played in the form of picture-in-picture on the empty throne hall of Pangal Castle. Sabo is in the corner in the middle of the main hall. The 5 elders are arranged on both sides in the form of 3 on the left and 2 on the right. In the position surrounded by them, there is an old man sitting in a wheelchair. Surprisingly, it is Nefertari Cobra. King Cobra, ruler of Alabasta, what have you came to ask? The 5 elders said perhaps I should start from the beginning. As you are aware, the world government was founded 800 years ago, but the 20 families then refer to the Tenryubaito. Internally the 20 were equal, and to ensure no individual dictatorship, they install the empty throne. Each of them place a weapon around the throne to symbolize their vow to never try to sit on it, but there is only 19 weapon on the empty throne. Because monarch of Alabasta at the time did not stay to become a Tenryubaito, Queen Lily of House Nefertari was one of the 20. She returned to Alabasta to continue her reign. Cobra explained. What is your point? St. Topman Warcurie asked. I checked all the ancient books in the country, but as far as I can tell, all known account chronicling the period after the Void Century have one common thing: her name isn't mentioned. She did not return to Alabasta. Queen Lily's younger brother is later king of Alabasta. I just came here to ask, do you know anything, Queen Lily? Cobra asked. St. J. Garcia Saturn answered. Cobra, that was more than 800 years ago. We have no way of knowing the situation at that time. Sorry, we really don't know these things. Hearing this, Cobra's face seemed to be expected, and then he asked, in that case, what is the meaning of D? As soon as these words came out, 5 elders' face turned. The temperature in the hall dropped instantly. Why do you ask this? St. Ethan Baron V. Nasjuro's eyes were radiating a fierce light. Cobra said in a deep voice, to be honest, 800 years ago, Queen Lily left a short letter. But at this moment a figure appeared above the main hall. This person is covered in a black shadow. After he appeared, he didn't seem to see the people in the hall, but just walked towards the empty throne. Why? The sudden appearance of this figure stunned Cobra, who was talking. Lord I'm, King Cobra is still here. St. J. Garcia Saturn immediately reminded, however, this figure still seemed to have not heard it, and slowly walked to the empty throne, turned around, and sat down. When this scene appeared, the hearts of all watchers were shocked. For them, this kind of thing is tantamount to setting off a tsunami in their hearts. Everyone knows that the world government represents peace, but now everything has changed. Not a slight change, but a drastic change in everyone's perception, especially for those who join Marine because of the justice they yearn for. This is undoubtedly a shocking revelation. Sengoku, what? This, Zephyr, how could anyone sit on the throne? Monkey D. Garp, I'm? Who is this? Nefertari Cobra, I'm. I know this name. Although it may be just a coincidence, among the first 20 monarch who founded the world government 800 years ago, there was indeed one called I'm. Emporio Ivankov, I'm saint of the Nerana family, right? The names of the 20 monarch back then are not a secret, many people know it. Jun, what do you mean? Could it be that the Lord I'm, who even the 5 elders would kneel down, turned out to be someone from 800 years ago? Momanga, this is impossible. How can anyone live for 800 years? Emporio Ivankov, no. Why, there are abilities in this world that can make people live forever. For example, Trafalgar Lawboy's op fruit. Since everyone knows that this fruit can perform immortal surgery, it means that this has happened in history, otherwise how would it be known? Stussy, the analysis makes perfect sense. Op fruit wouldn't have been confirmed for immortality if no one ever used it before. Kong, if op fruit can make people live forever, how can there in no other immortal? Edward Newgate, old dog. Don't forget, this viewing system rewarded Trafalgar Law Boy a chance of immortality surgery without any side effects from the very beginning. Even the viewing system know it, so how can it be fake? Monkey D. Dragon, this should not be a coincidence. Maybe, this I'm is an immortal that lived for 800 years. St. J. Garcia Saturn, bullshit. Gold Roger, damn, the viewing system has exposed you, you idiot old man. You still want to lie? Shiki, does he think everyone else is stupid? Ja ha 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 ha. He didn't admit it just now, but now the viewing system directly slaps his face. St. Marcus Mars, hee hee, ridiculous, would you rather believe this false screen than what we say? Charlotte Linlin, old man, are you out of your mind? The abilities that the viewing system rewards us are all. Do you think the viewing system needs to lie to us? Suru, indeed, the viewing system can even change our age at will, and can resurrect the dead. This is indeed beyond the scope of gods, so, since the viewing system show it, it mean it is real. Although she is a Marine, when Vice Admiral Tsuru saw a person sitting on the empty throne, she was very disappointed from Vice Admiral Tsuru's point of view. Although the Tenryubito lived like slave owners, their ancestors fought for the peace of the world after all. However, right now, when all of this is exposed to be a hoax, what a blow to people like Vice Admiral Tsuru. I'm sat down, muttering the name Lily. Who are you? Cobra asked. Such curiosity titers on impertinence, it will not be dignified with an answer. I'm answered before continuing. However, the previous queries will be answered. D is the moniker of our ancient enemy. In recent time it appear more frequently, but those who carry it does not know what it mean. If it weren't for Lily's mistakes back then, such hateful relics as the poneglyph wouldn't be scattered around the world. This is the worst possible outcome for us. It make me wonder, is it just a momentary mistake, or is it part of a larger plan? I'm said angrily. Afterwards, I'm asked Cobra do divulge Queen Lily full name. When Cobra said the name Nefertari D. Lily, Im's pupil shrank suddenly. Angry. Brush. Beside Cobra, a demon's tail pierced into Cobra's back in an instant, and then pierced through his front. Seeing that Cobra is going to die, Sabo rushed out Fire Fist. Dash. A burst of flames swirled, instantly engulfing the 5 elders. At this very moment, all 5 elders transform. All mythical Zoan beasts. Sabo originally wanted to kill 5 elders, but when he saw their power he decided to run with Cobra on his back. In the end, both Sabo and Cobra were seriously injured, and Cobra tried his best to stop the 5 elders, so that Sabo had a slight chance to escape. Nefertari Cobra, I didn't expect that. In the future I went to World Summit and lost my life. Monkey D. Luffy, it turns out that these poneglyph appear because the ancestors of Vivi, but why would she scatter it? Nami, stupid, she obviously did it on purpose. I just don't know why she did it. Nico Robin, according to speculation, she must have discovered some unacceptable and ugly facts, so she did this. Nefeltari Vivi, so, does it mean I also has the moniker D? Shiki, I really didn't expect it. 5 elders are all mythical Zoan user. Don Quixote da Flamingo, Few Furfur. Tenryubito even use devil fruit as dog food for fun. Is there still a lack of good devil fruit in the Holy Land? After Sabo escaped Holy Land, Marie Joy's inside Pangaea Castle, between the 2 sides. 5 elders are talking about Sabo at this moment. The Den Den Mushi suddenly rang. Saint Ethan Baron V. Nasjuro pressed the back of the Den Den Mushi on the table and connected. They only heard Im's voice from over there. It time to activate the mother flame made by Vegapunk. Im's voice was cold. Hearing this, Saint Jagarshus Saturn nodded immediately. Indeed, if we don't try it, we really have no way of knowing whether that kind of thing is genuine or not. Saint Topman Warcury said. Then let's try to see the results of the experiment first, and then consider how to deal with the Egghead incident. Saint Ethan Baron V. Nasjuro on the side said. As for the choice of the experimental location, compared to the sea, I think it is better to choose a forest area to see the effect. But at this moment, Im's voice came from the other end of the Den Den Mushi. The experiment site has been chosen, the kingdom of Lulusia. When the words came out, 5 elders also froze for a moment. Then, Saint Topman Warcury asked subconsciously, my lord, there are a lot of people there. That is of no consequence. Saint Topman Warcury no longer speaks. Saint Marcus Mars flattered. Understood, the world moves at the will of the creator. My lord, why did you choose the kingdom of Lulusia? Saint Shepherd Jew Peter seemed a little curious. I'm faintly uttered a word. Its close proximity. What? When this scene appears, people all over the world are in an uproar. Especially the people of the Lulusia kingdom. They don't know what the mother flame is, but from the conversation between 5 elders and it can be seen that it is definitely not a good thing. There is a high probability that it is some kind of extremely destructive power. From the words of Saint Ethan Baron V. Nasjuro, it is obvious that the experimental location should actually be chosen at a forest area, but I'm insisted on choosing the Lulusia kingdom as the experiment location. This is tantamount to taking the life of the Lulusia kingdom. What's even more ridiculous is that the reason he chose was simply because the Lulusia kingdom is close to Marie Joy's. Damn Tenryubito. Damn it's so hateful. They did not treat us as human beings at all. We are a member of the world's government. We should be protected by the world's government. Damn it. We hand in the heavenly gold on time and in a heavy amount every year, but we only get this. The people of Lulusia kingdom are completely angry. Not only them, but people from other countries that have joined the world government are also completely angry. Since the world government can take action against the Lulusia kingdom, then it is entirely possible for them to take action against other affiliated nation. What if the Lulusia kingdom was not the closest to Marie Joy's at that time, but other countries that joined the world government? Some countries that were still undecided and hesitated whether to fall to the side of the Revolutionary Army under the impact of this scene on the screen, has made an instant decision to join the wave to overthrow the world government. Chapter 204 Chapter 204 The psychological shadow left by Luffy on Bonnie Lulusia kingdom. In the sky, the clouds are dense, but at this moment, a vast black shadow suddenly appeared in the clouds. The range of this black shadow covers the entire country of Lulusia. Mom, look, there are monsters in the sky. A 5-year-old boy pointed to the sky curiously. Hey, what is that? Is there something above the clouds? On the pier, one of them looked at the sky in surprise. What's going on? I'm drunk after only drinking 3 caddies of wine? It seems that my drinking capacity has regressed. An alcoholic looked up at the dark sky and rubbed his eyes. Ah, everyone, look, what is that? At the market, a man shouted, and everyone looked up. At this moment, everyone's eyes showed a look of horror. The next moment, a terrifying scene appeared. Boom, like the end of the world. No, this is the end of the world. When everything returns to calm. In the original place of the Lulusia kingdom, there are no more islands or land, and there is a pothole in the sea with a diameter larger than the original island where Lulusia kingdom was located. Sea water poured into the inside the hole. However, no matter how much it is filled, there is no sign of it being filled. It seems that this hole has become a bottomless pit, which can no longer be filled. When this scene appeared, there was an instant silence in the chat room. This kind of thing has too much impact on everyone. After a while, no one spoke in the chat room. Seiki, my country is gone. As the king of the Lulusia kingdom, he is in complete shock. He originally thought that the experiment I'm going to do in Lulusia kingdom was some kind of weapon of mass destruction. But what he couldn't think of anyway was that, this is not a weapon of mass destruction at all, but a demon that directly wipes out the island. Nefertari Cobra, devil. This I'm is simply a demon. Lulusia kingdom has millions of people at least. Just because of his words, they all died. Gold Roger, this I'm is a devil. Millions of lives, if he say so, they will be gone. Sengoku, get out of there. Tell me, do these people in the kingdom of Lucia deserve to die? Sengoku, this. Seeing such a cruel scene, no matter how loyal Sengoku was to the world government, he cannot help being shaken. Even when Roger questioned him, he had no face to respond. Edward Newgate, millions of lives. Can the number of pirates killed by pirates all over the world reach this number? Charlotte Linlin, are you kidding? Killing millions of people? Whitebeard, you are flattering us. Sabo, damn it. Everyone saw it? This is the world government. This is what the person sitting on the throne of the world government did. Marshall D. Teach, hey, what is this thing? This power is too exaggerated. Marco, in the video just now, that I mentioned, Motherflame, it seems to be invented by Vegapunk. Frankie, what? Can he invent such a powerful thing? Vegapunk, no. Motherflame is not a weapon, but a super-condensed high-efficiency energy source. The world government asked me to study this, saying that it would be used to solve the world's energy problems. Now it seems that they lied. Monkey D. Dragon Vegapunk, listen to me, no matter what you do, don't invent this. People all over the world will thank you. Vegapunk, don't worry, now I know what the world government is going to do with the mother flame. Even if they kill me, I won't make this kind of thing. Saint Marcus Mars. Vegapunk, I advise you to think clearly. Vegapunk, I am thinking clearly, I'm going to join the Revolutionary Army. Saint Ethan Baron V. Nasjiro, bastard. You are looking for death. Vegapunk, it's not bad to die. At least, I won't let millions of innocent lives die because of what I created. Roxd, Xebec, the black shadow in the sky just now, if I'm not mistaken, it should be an ancient weapon? Gold Roger, it's very possible. But is it Uranus? None of us have seen it before. Seiki, damn it. I declare that from this moment on, the Lulusia kingdom will withdraw from the affiliated nation. All citizens obey the order, and I now issue the Supreme King's order. The government officials are all listed as criminals and can be killed on the spot. If there is no viewing system, people in their entire country will not know that, until the moment before they die, they are still contributing the heavenly gold to the world government. Coupled with the order of the King Seiki, the entire Lulusia kingdom has a common hatred. Because Vegapunk won't invent Mother Flame for the world government anymore, so they don't have to worry the world government using that thing to wipe them out. In the current situation, if the world government still wants to destroy them, the millions of civilians in the Lulusia kingdom will bite off a piece of flesh from them even if they die. Nefertari Cobra, I declare that from now on, Alabasta will officially withdraw from the world government. We are the descendants of Nefertari D. Lily, and we will never let the unexplained death of Queen Nefertari D. Lily go. Zephyr, hey, I announce that I quit Marine. Monkey D. Garp, hey. Hakinosu, Pirate Island, New World. Garp brought the sword team to rescue Kobe. He almost single-handedly fought San Juan Wolf, Vasco Shot, Avalo Pizarro, and Aokiji. As Garp was about to evacuate, suddenly Kobe got tricked by the pirates. Garp was stabbed by the invisible Shiryu. Afterwards, Garp punvei Shiryu down. After successfully covering Kobe and others from leaving, Garp lay in a pool of blood on his chest. An icicle pierced him. The white border screen and screen disappears. Monkey D. Luffy, Grandpa, Sengoku, damn it. Garp. Tsuru, Aokiji, what are you doing? Kyuzan, this, have I actually get to this point? Shiki, jihahaha. It's so interesting. Kizura kills Zephyr, Aokiji kills Garp. Does your marine have a tradition of killing their teacher? Charlotte Linlin, mama. Zephyr, what is this? Looking at the scene on the screen, countless people in the marine felt dejected. Not long after the screen with the red border gradually lights up. The screen appears. Thousand Sunny leaves Wano. Zo originally wanted to follow, but Luffy communicated with it and let it stay near Wano. Although Luffy doesn't mind having a giant elephant as a bodyguard following them, the problem is that there is a country on the back of the giant elephant. They can't let this country follow them every day. Since Zo and Wano have a relationship, it is also a good choice to let the giant elephant be near Wano. This way, whether Wano is attacked or Zo is attacked, they can support each other. After sailing southeast for more than 10 days, the future island of Egghead appeared in front of their eyes. The surface of the sea was churning, and in an instant, countless mechanical sea beasts surged out of the sea. Their physiques were comparable to small sea kings. A mechanical shark suddenly opened its mouth, and protruded a black cannon from its mouth. Boom! Terrifying laser light waves burst out, heading straight for Thousand Sunny. Luffy instantly awakened the Nika form, and the two palms are instantly stretched and enlarged. Luffy's two palms overlap each other, forming a rubber shield, blocking the laser light wave. His palm was dented by the impact of laser light waves. However, after the laser light wave is launched, the rebound of Luffy's palm will bounce off all the laser energy. Luffy's hands are still huge. One hand grabs the mechanical shark's mouth, the other hand grabs the mechanical shark's tail, and directly pulls it down in front of him. It's actually a robot sea beast. Frankie lost control when he saw this mechanical shark. His eyes looked like greedy for it. Usopp also exclaimed, "Hey, hey, this is so cool." Not to mention Chopper, with stars shining in his eyes. "Frankie, what are you still doing? Eat it, and next time we will get some mechanical sea beasts as the guards of Thousand Sunny." At this time, Luffy pointed at Frankie. "Okay." Frankie took out a napkin from the small storage on his arm and stuck it in his neck. "Hey, why do you do this?" Usopp showed a contemptuous look. "Haha, this is called a sense of ritual, super." Haha laughed. Frankie raised his face directly, and started to eat with big mouthfuls. It didn't take long for Frankie to eat half of this gigantic mechanical shark. But at this moment, something unexpected happened. They saw a person falling out of the mechanical shark. It looks like it was swallowed by this mechanical shark before. This is not. Seeing this woman, Nami quickly took out the booklet of the bounty and started to read it. When the brochure was stopped on a certain page, Nami slapped her thigh. It really is her. Jewelry Bonnie, a supernova who was in the same era as Luffy in Sabayati Archipelago before. Hey, 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 what are you guys doing? She needs artificial respiration, let me do it." Sanji rushed forward without hesitation. Robin pulled him back. "Idiot. Why are you meddling in saving lives?" At this time, Luffy said, "She is still breathing. Chopper, wake her up first, and ask what's going on." Although the female pirate in front of them has a bounty of 200 to 300 million belly, the Straw Hat Pirates and the others have been pirates for many years. Bounties are no longer attractive to them. Chopper stepped forward to check. Jewelry Bonnie suddenly opened her eyes and hugged Chopper in her arms. She pedaled on the ground with both legs, backed up quickly, and said as she backed up, "Straw Hat Boy, we have no grievances. I don't want to hurt your pet, but if you insist on using me for bounty, I will die with your pet." "Nanny?" Hearing this, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates was stunned. This person's first reaction is this. Looks like in Sabayati Archipelago, Luffy cast a heavy shadow on her. CN Fleur. Robin crossed her arms and used the flower fruit ability. Many arms suddenly appeared on Jewelry Bonnie. These arms are all covered in jet black armament haki. They hold Jewelry Bonnie's hands behind her neck, and her legs are also curled behind her. It seems that there is a rope behind Jewelry Bonnie, tying all her limbs in one place. Boom. She lost her balance. Jewelry Bonnie fell to the ground. Realizing that she has completely fallen into the hands of the Straw Hat Pirate ship, Jewelry Bonnie suddenly exclaimed, "Straw Hat Boy, if you really want to exchange me for a bounty, I don't have any complaints. But I beg you, let me go to the island to complete one thing. As long as I complete this thing, I will be yours, and I will do whatever you want. I won't resist." Robin-chan, it seems to hurt her. Sanji watched from the sidelines very worried. Robin ignored Sanji's opinion, but looked at Luffy. "Let go of her." Luffy shrugged calmly, then looked at Jewelry Bonnie. "If I remember correctly, you should have a pirate crew. Why did you appear here alone, and fell into the mouth of a mechanical sea beast? Also, do you know where this island is?" Luffy came here according to the log pose, and don't know what this island is. Since Jewelry Bonnie can appear here alone, it means that she must know something this place. What's more, from what she just said, she wants to go to the island to complete a task. Obviously, she is familiar with this island. "If I answer your question, can you let me go to the island to complete what I want to do?" Looking at the bounty maniac in front of her, Jewelry Bonnie asked nervously. "You don't have the right to choose. You should answer my question first. If your answer satisfies me, maybe I'll be in a better mood, and maybe I can help you." Luffy twitched the corner of his mouth, and said lightly. Chapter 205 Garp and Dragon face to face. Jewelry Bonnie, "Damn red border Luffy, so domineering. 2 bullying. Scratchman Apu Ape Papeup. It's fine if he didn't just throw you into the sea. Capone Big. The main reason is that there is no place to exchange bounties in New World, otherwise you should be on your way to Marine Base by now." Gold Roger, put, haha, "You are Bartholomew Kuma's daughter?" Luffy was a little surprised after hearing what Jewelry Bonnie said. "Yes, but he has lost his human self now. He has been completely transformed by Vegapunk into a machine. I must find Vegapunk for an explanation." Speaking of this, Jewelry Bonnie's eyes overflowed with tears. She gritted her teeth and said, "If he doesn't give me a satisfactory answer, I'll kill him." As soon as the words came out, Sanji immediately jumped up. "What? Damn Vegapunk, the most evil scientist in all mankind, actually transformed little Bonnie's father into a war machine. Unforgivable," Sanji said angrily. "Are you familiar with him?" Zoro looked at Sanji with a look of disgust. "Stop simping. Maybe she's lying. I'm not lying." Hearing what Zoro said, Jewelry Bonnie had a hysterical angry expression on her face. "You actually made little Bonnie cry even harder. I will fight with you." Sanji bursts out and rushes towards Zoro. Two people wrestled into a ball. Robin looked at Luffy. "During the Summit War, I did meet Bartholomew Kuma, and he was indeed transformed. I didn't lie to you." Jewelry Bonnie bit her lower lip and said in a low voice, "I will analyze this myself." Luffy nodded, and then said, "Since this island belongs to the world government, it is our enemy. If this scientist really does something that transforms humans into unconscious war machine, I will not spare him. Okay, you don't have to worry about the bounty thing, we've stopped doing that kind of thing a long time ago. What's more, I'm the thorn in the side of the world government now. Luffy reached out and pulled Jewelry Bonnie up. Subsequently, the two sides conducted friendly and interactive exchanges. However, in front of them, those mechanical sea beasts are still floating on the sea surface. It seems to be the first island at this moment. A robot emerged from the water. In the head of the robot, a woman said sternly, "Hey, you pirates. Hand over your treasure and get out." Hearing this, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates froze for a moment. Isn't this the line of pirates? Luffy make his move. His arm stretches instantly, blows off the robot's mask with a punch, and then grabs the clone of Vegapunk. Lilith, hey, woman. You really know how to play when you rob and hit a pirate. Luffy threw Lilith to the ground, pouted lightly. Tell me, who are you? Is Vegapunk on this island? Nanny? The clone Lilith originally thought that with so many mechanical sea beasts around, she had already taken control of the situation. What she didn't expect was that not only did she fail to scare the other party with such a mechanical sea beast, but she was suddenly caught by the other party inexplicably. The black sword comes out of its sheath, and Zoro rests the sword on Lilith's neck, as if he will kill her if he doesn't agree with him. This time, Lilith panicked. She hurriedly said, wait. This old man is Vegapunk. What do you want? Vegapunk. Luffy frowned suddenly, although he has never seen Vegapunk, but in his impression, Vegapunk should be a man. Stop talking nonsense. I've never heard that Vegapunk is a woman, and judging from your look, your age doesn't match. Robin crossed her hands and launched the flower fruit ability. A pair of arms appeared on Lilith's neck, as if it would break her neck any time. Lilith quickly explained, no. The Vegapunk you are talking is the main body, and I am the number 2 clone of Vegapunk. Lilith. Hearing this, Luffy frowned even deeper. Clone? Does this Vegapunk even clone himself? Crazy. At this moment, the voice of the Vegapunk came from Lilith's earphones. Don't get into conflict with them, bring them here, I am very interested in them. Hearing this, Lilith looked at everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates. Okay, it seems that I am interested in you, let me take you to the island, let's go. There is nothing to hesitate. Luffy immediately agreed. When they came to the island, the Straw Hat Pirates entered a cave under the guidance of Lilith, and then climbed to the top floor along the hanging ladder in the cave. A technological island is displayed in front of everyone. Introduced by Lilith, the Straw Hat Pirates were amazed by the technology here. Afterwards, Vegapunk's number 5 clone Atlas appeared. She took the Straw Hat Pirates for a while, and the real Vegapunk appeared. Vegapunk. The moment Vegapunk appeared, Jewelry Bonnie immediately lost control and rushed over. Seeing that she was about to kick Vegapunk to the ground, Luffy stretched out his arm, grabbed the leg kicked by Jewelry Bonnie, and lifted her up. Vegapunk and Jewelry Bonnie exclaimed at the same time. Vegapunk was so scared that he sat down on the ground and touched his own head. Jewelry Bonnie looked back at Luffy angrily. Straw Hat Luffy, didn't you promise me just now? As long as what I said is true, you will help me. Luffy nodded. Yes, but I have to listen to what this uncle has to say. Then, he looked at Vegapunk. She said you turned her father into a mindless war machine, is that true? Vegapunk thought for a while, then nodded. Yes, okay, then go and kill him. Now that Vegapunk has admitted it, Luffy has no reason to stop Jewelry Bonnie, and also let go of Jewelry Bonnie's running. Jewelry Bonnie flipped in the air, her feet landed on the ground, then took out the small pistol she carried with her, and pointed it directly at Vegapunk. Tell me, can my father regain consciousness? Little Bonnie, you have grown so big. Vegapunk's tone sounds like the elder of Jewelry Bonnie. However, Jewelry Bonnie doesn't accept this trick. Don't get too close to me. Answer my question quickly, or I'll blow your head off with one shot. Vegapunk said calmly, yes. Hearing this, Jewelry Bonnie's cheeks suddenly burst into surprise, and she shouted, really? Vegapunk nodded, then shook his head again, but, I can't do that. Jewelry Bonnie's face suddenly became furious, and the muzzle of the gun rubbed Vegapunk's forehead hard. Vegapunk spread his hands. Believe it or not, but this is the agreement between me and your father. Impossible. How could my father make such an agreement with you? Jewelry Bonnie didn't believe this at all. Nami also said, yeah, how can anyone voluntarily become a machine? Hey, old man, are you cheating? Little Bonnie? Quickly agree to her request, or I will teach you a lesson. Sanji rushed to Vegapunk and showed him the special effect of the Devil's Wind Foot. At this point, Luffy said, well, even if you made a deal with Bonnie's father not to let him regain consciousness, how can you prove it? Actually, Luffy analyzes the situation in front of him, and thinks that what Vegapunk said is quite credible. Vegapunk's side, there is, but it's not suitable to use it. Luffy frowned. Is it more important than your life? It's not. Vegapunk shook his head, then looked at Jewelry Bonnie kindly. It's just, hey, little Bonnie will definitely be in pain. You don't need to worry this. I don't care the pain, I just want to know what my father did this. Jewelry Bonnie's eyes were red, and she sternly reprimanded. All right. Vegapunk relaxed his shoulders. Someone also asked me about you guys, us. Everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates looked at Vegapunk in astonishment. Vegapunk said, yeah, Straw Hat Luffy, I have been friends with your father for many years. I hope you can take me away from this. I said, you old man, are you so good at making connections? You act like little Bonnie's elder for a while, and you act like Luffy's elder now. Don't be self-righteous, okay? Sanji looks at Vegapunk with the eyes of a judging fraudster. Vegapunk ignored Sanji, but looked at Luffy. There is no need to doubt this. I can call Dragon right now. Straw Hat Boy, do you need me to prove it? Okay, you can prove it. Luffy agrees in seconds. One Vegapunk is a little embarrassed. He really have to prove it, however, since he boasted. Vegapunk had no choice but to make the call after a while. The voice from the Den Mushy. Vegapunk, what's the matter? Vegapunk responded, Dragon, have you paid attention to your father and son recently? Vegapunk, what's wrong with you? How dare you ask such a thing? On the other side of the Den Mushy, Monkey D. Dragon looks dazed at this time. Vegapunk covered the Den Mushy and looked at Luffy. Have you heard your father's voice? Luffy pick his nose. Since I can remember, I have never heard his voice. Nanny? The expression on Vegapunk's face suddenly became extremely speechless. He hasn't heard his father's voice and yet asked him to prove it? Even everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates couldn't laugh or cry. Hey, Straw Hat Kid, how do you want me to prove it? Vegapunk also has a temper. It's okay, although I haven't heard of it, someone has. Luffy takes out the Den Mushy and dials Garp's number. After a while, Garp's voice came. Luffy, missing Grandpa. Grandpa, I am now an Egghead, and I met Vegapunk here. He said he knew my father and called my father, but I don't know if that person's voice is my father, so I want you to listen. Luffy doesn't talk nonsense. He quickly and briefly talked the current situation. What? That bastard Dragon. Hearing his son, Garp's blood pressure surged, and he said, okay, put the Den Mushy there. Afterwards, Luffy and Vegapunk each held a Den Mushy, and came together, and opened their palms at the same time. The next moment, the two sides of the Den Mushy changed from a dialogue to a unilateral reprimand. Then, Long hung up the phone. This kind of scene really made everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates speechless. Luffy also feels speechless. However, he also understood that the end of the Den Mushy is indeed his father. Monkey D. Dragon chatting with Garp for a while. Luffy hangs up the Den Mushy. Okay, I'm sure you and my father are friends. However, if I remember correctly, you are a scientist in the world government. Why did you want me to take you away? Can't you leave at any time? Luffy asked. Actually, I don't agree with the world government, but there are sufficient materials here for me to conduct various research. But when I start to study the Void Century and the world government want to eliminate me. Also, have you read the recent news? The Lulusia kingdom was directly wiped out of the world by some kind of terrible weapon. This incident made me very disappointed in the world government, and it also made me blame myself. If I'm not mistaken, the mother flame that the world government asked me to research and manufacture is not actually used as the energy source for the world as they told me, but as an energy for their weapon. And now, the world government has discovered that I am studying the Void Century. So, I have to leave. Vegapunk said seriously. Loved this story? Hit subscribe and join Infinite Novel to be the first to catch new chapters. Every subscriber brings us closer to more epic novels. Join Infinite Novel today. Chapter 206. Chapter 206. Frankie, I can eat anything you can't take away. After hearing what Vegapunk said, Luffy frowned. According to what you mean, since the world government has this mother flame, as long as they are willing, they can destroy any island in an instant. If this kind of thing is true, then Luffy feels a lot of pressure. A few days ago, Luffy also read what happened to Lulusia in the newspaper. Weapons that can cause such destruction are absolutely catastrophic. Even in the moment of disaster, if he can survive in Nika form, but what about his partner? Taking a step back, even if Luffy can use rubber to protect his partner in Nika form, but can he stay by his partner's side all the time? What if he is not with his partner when the disaster strikes? Perhaps he can't protect his companions in a disaster of that scale even if he activates the rubberization in Nika form. If there are enough mother flame, the world's government can indeed achieve this level. Vegapunk nodded, and then said, however, the female flame seed sent to Marie Joyce is only a test product, and it is the only one currently in the hands of the world government. Hearing this, Nami on the side grabbed Vegapunk's collar and said excitedly, so, what kind of terrible weapon can be used by the world government for the time being? Cough cough cough, yes. Vegapunk was strangled by the collar and coughed a few times, and then explained, the mother flame is a kind of energy that is produced, and it is a consumable. But, only one mother flame has been sent. It can provide energy consumption for the entire Holy Land for 10 years. Luffy suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. However, he didn't dare to rest assured, but looked at Vegapunk. Then what about technology of making mother fire? Has the world government mastered it? Only me and my clone know the technology. Don't worry, the clone are all my different personalities, so they won't betray me. Moreover, the degree of knowledge that can create the mother flame is only available here. Speaking of this, Vegapunk scratched his head. But this is also a headache for me. I have to leave here, but I can't take that huge fusion furnace with me. There is also a large amount of knowledge stored in the punk records on the dome, and I can't take it away. This is the most troublesome thing. Looking up at the eggshell-shaped facility at the top of Egghead, Vegapunk's face is full of concerns. Punk records? What is that? Luffy frowned. That's all the knowledge stored in my brain. If it keeps being stored in my brain, my head will keep getting bigger, and eventually it will become difficult for me to move. I put that knowledge separately in the punk record, so I only need to receive the signal through the antenna on my head. Speaking, Vegapunk pointed to the apple-shaped antenna above his head. Nanny. Hearing Vegapunk's words, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates looked at the apple on Vegapunk's head in surprise. Originally they thought it was just a decoration, but they didn't expect it to be an antenna for brainwaves. Seeing the reaction of everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates, Vegapunk quickly explained with a smile, don't be so surprised. I ate the brain fruit, so I can infinitely remember the knowledge I have learned. Hey, this is amazing. You can actually store the contents of your brain in other places. No wonder you become the smartest person in the world. Frankie is full of excitement since eating 2 research institutes in Punk Hazard. Frankie has absorbed some knowledge from Caesar and some knowledge from Vegapunk. Comparing the two, Frankie can clearly feel that the 10 parts of knowledge theory belonging to Vegapunk have completely crushed the part of knowledge belonging to Caesar. Since then, Frankie has adored Vegapunk. Luffy's eyes lit up when he saw Frankie. He looked at Vegapunk and said, if you don't want to leave the things on this island to the world government, then I have a way to prevent them to take it. Vegapunk gritted his teeth, with a serious expression on his face. You mean to blow up this island? Although Vegapunk is already fully prepared for this kind of thing, but to completely destroy his work, of course he is hesitating. No. Luffy shook his head, then pointed to Frankie. He ate the munch fruit. He can swallow everything in this world except seawater and sea stone. And he gained the ability of what he eat. I'm thinking, if you can't take away the things here, and don't want to leave them to the world government, then it's better to let Frankie swallow them. In this way, when you want to study, let Frankie manifest these things. Moreover, after these things are fused by Frankie, he can also get the knowledge and theories these things. In this way, in the future, if you need help in scientific research, Frankie can also be your good partner. Luffy expressed his thoughts. This is fine. Vegapunk listened to Luffy's proposal, and agreed without hesitation. However, Luffy pointed to the punk records on the dome and said, but if those things are swallowed by Frankie, will it affect you? This, I don't know. Vegapunk shakes his head. After all, he has never tried this kind of thing before, so I can't guarantee what will happen. Luffy thought for a while, then said, we can try it. You can choose a small piece of memory that is least important to you and let Frankie swallow it and see the effect. If when Frankie swallows a small piece of punk record, and you can still receive the signal of punk record, that would be great. If Frankie swallows a small piece of punk records, causing you to lose this part of memory, then we will find a way to transport the punk record in this dome to our ship, so there will be no problem. Okay. It's not too late, let's hurry. Vegapunk felt that there was nothing wrong with Luffy's proposal, so he urged them to hurry. He has just received the information that the world government's large fleet has already on its way, and it is estimated that it will arrive in Egghead Island in a short time. The most ideal situation is that he and the Straw Hat Pirates will evacuate before the arrival of the big fleet of the world government. Okay. So, where to start? Frankie is very happy to know that he has such a heavy burden. He raised his arms high and pointed to the sky. Well, super. Come on. Let me see the power of munch fruit. The shoes under Vegapunk's feet sprayed out anti-gravity, and flew. Everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates quickly catch up. Not long after, they came to a place like a waste recycling bin. What's going on? Nami looked left and right with some doubts. There are waste everywhere. On the contrary, Frankie, Usopp and Chopper's eyes lit up, and they rushed forward. Wow, what a big robot. Hey, this is too cool. It's a mech. They looked at the huge robot soldiers sitting in the ruins in front of them, as if a group of 2-year-olds suddenly got their dream toy. This. Luffy looked at the huge robot in front of him with surprise. This is not a modern thing. You are right. It is indeed not a modern thing. Vegapunk nodded, and then continued to introduce. It should have been manufactured 800 years ago. Things from 800 years ago, are they so advanced? Hearing Luffy's surprise, Vegapunk laughed. Do you think technology is getting better and better with the development of time? Isn't that the case? Luffy looked at Vegapunk suspiciously. According to the normal point of view, it should indeed be like this. It's just that, 800 years ago, there was a country with a very advanced technology, which was destroyed by some reason, and their technology was not destroyed, but passed down. The island you see now is actually built with the knowledge I learned from technology 800 years ago. Vegapunk explains. What? As soon as these words came out, the crewmates of the Straw Hat Pirates once again opened their mouths wide in astonishment. Unexpectedly, it turned out to be a technology from 800 years ago. Usopp's eyeballs are to protrude, and he can't help but exclaim, that's why. I inherited the behest of my old friend Clover and started to study the Void Century. I think that if I can completely decipher the Void Century, maybe I can research more technology from 800 years ago, said Vegapunk. But this, why is this robot here? Luffy thought it, and found it very strange. This robot was unknown. But one day 200 years ago, this robot attacked Marijois for unknown reasons, but at that time due to insufficient energy, it was not able to cause actual damage. Originally Marijois requested that this robot be completely destroyed, but the scientists at that time had never seen such advanced technological achievements, so they quietly take it. Even the world government doesn't know it still exists. Speaking of which, Vegapunk looked at Frankie. This robot must not stay here, you should eat it first, so that I can see the effect of your fruit. Well, okay old man. Frankie rushed over and began to eat the robot. At this time, Luffy looked at Vegapunk. Since this robot was created 800 years ago, and only relied on the remaining energy and memory to attack Marijois, it can only mean one thing. What is it? Vegapunk wondered. Luffy said calmly, the country that produced this robot, had been destroyed by the current world government. Vegapunk nodded. Oh, your analysis is very reasonable. Indeed, all signs show that in the Void Century, the world government must have destroyed a giant kingdom, and the means they use must be disgraceful. 10 minutes later, this huge robot was completely eaten by Frankie. Wahaha, too strong. Integrated with the robot, Frankie laughed, and immediately turned on the robot transformation form. Ka. After a clanging sound, Frankie's figure soared dozens of times, turning into a giant robot similar in size to the robot just now. Chopper's eyes lit up immediately. Wow. Frankie, so cool. Usopp raised his hands high and jumped left and right excitedly. Even Zoro and Sanji couldn't help opening their mouths, completely stunned by the scene in front of them. Frankie, put on a pose. Usopp yelled, well, super. Frankie in the machine form raised his hands above his head, put the backs of his hands together, and pointed at the sky obliquely. Super, super. Usopp, Chopper, and Brook imitate Frankie's look at the same time. Can you actually turn into a robot directly? Vegapunk was also surprised. He asked, is there any example of a super powerful gun or something? Frankie responded immediately, yes. But I can't use it because of energy problems. My coke power can't use this robot gun. I can only change into this form. Sure enough, we still need the mother flame as energy. Vegapunk rubbed his chin, and then his face showed joy. Wait for the second mother flame seed to be produced. After it comes out, I can let you swallow it. Maybe you can fully activate this robot. Luffy nodded. Well, don't worry this, let's go to the fusion furnace. That is something that the world government wants very much. Let Frankie swallow it as soon as possible. Okay, come with me. Vegapunk brought everyone from the Straw Hat Pirates and Jewelry Bonnie to the door under the dome, and put his hand on the identity verification beside the door. Beep. The big red fork shuts everyone out. At this moment, Luffy frowned, because 4 incomparably clear killing intent suddenly struck. Chapter 207. Chapter 207. If an apology is useful, then why use fists? Luffy turned on his Nika form in an instant. Not only rubberized the surrounding partners together with Vegapunk, but also enlarged the hands immediately and turned them into rubber barriers, blocking the front. Boom, 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 boom. 4 terrifying laser beams suddenly landed on Luffy's palm, setting off terrifying mushrooms cloud. Kangling. Zoro unsheathed all of his sword, and tried to counterattack. What's the situation? He saw that the 4 figures rushing over were actually children, but their appearance was very familiar. To be precise, they are the child's version of Hancock, Mihawk, Bartholomew Kuma, and Jinbei, all original Shishibukai. However, according to the news they saw in the newspapers some time ago, the world government has now abolished the Shishibukai system, and 4 mini versions of the original Shishibukai suddenly appeared in front of their eyes, which really surprised everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates. However, after a brief shock, Zoro attacked it without hesitation. Brush. Zoro's sword slashed on S. Eagle's body, instantly blasting him. However, when the sword went down, Zoro looked at Eagle S in disbelief, and exclaimed, what's going on? He's not human. Even if this powerful slash falls on Kaido, it will leave a wound on the opponent, but the kid in front of him doesn't have any traces on his body. This is too outrageous. At the same time, Sanji and the S-Shark fight. Buggy and S-Bear are fighting. Luffy and S-Snake are fighting. What's going on? Why did Seraphim suddenly attack? Vegapunk on the side saw this scene, and the whole person immediately turned pale with fright. What do you mean? What is in Seraphim? Isn't this your enemy? Nami asked loudly, while quickly activating the smooth fruit ability, putting slippery protective films on all the partners. Vegapunk quickly explained, these are all war weapons invented by me, but in the highest command authority is in my and the 6 clones of me. Just now I tried to order them to stop attacking, but my order could not overwrite the order they received before, which means that the authority of the person who issued the order is no lower than mine. Usopp yelled, hey. What the hell are you trying to say? You invented these things? Is there anyone else with higher authority than you? On the surface, the authority of 5 elders is first, and I am only in second, but in fact, I still have a backup. But I tried it just now, and I still can't override the order, Vegapunk said. Sanji then said, to put it simply, the Seraphim order to attack can only come from your 6 clones, isn't it? Since the 5 elders are excluded, only his 6 clone have authority that are equal to Vegapunk himself, and Sanji quickly analyzed it. That's right, but my 6 clone will not betray me. And, if they had the idea of betraying me in their hearts, I should have known it. Vegapunk scratched his head, his face was full of confusion. Don't think it too much. Since you can have backdoor against the world's government, Seraphim, how can the world's government don't have a way to control you? Tell me, how can we reorder these Seraphs? Or destroy them? Luffy asked while fighting S-Snake. Mellow. S-Snake Girl suddenly released her ability. The pink light wave fell on Luffy's body, and was directly slipped away by the slippery protective film. Goma no King Kong gun. Luffy's fist magnified loudly, ignoring any sympathy, and punched Snake Girl against the wall. Boa Hancock, Mr. Luffy, he, beat me. Vinsmoke Sanji, hey. Luffy, can't you fight softer? Capone Big, no matter which side of the Straw Hat Luffy treats women, they are really the same. Dunquixote da Flamingo, Furfer. Women only affect the punching speed of Straw Hat Boy, Gold Roger, ha. Don't think about destroying them, the flames on their backs will not disappear until their energy is exhausted, and their defense is very strong. Vegapunk shook his head, and then said, if the person who issued the order can be made unconscious, then the orders of me and other clones will be effective. However, he said with a sad face, but I can't guess which clones betrayed me, and they have no reason to betray me. You can't let the innocent clone suffer because of the traitor. While fighting, Luffy asked, what are your clone? Vegapunk then said, the number 1 clone, Shaka, represents Goof. The number 2 clone, Lilith, represents evil. The number 3 clone, Edison, represents thought. The number 4 clone, Pythagoras, represents wisdom. The number 5 clone, Atlas, represents violence. Number 6 clone, York, represents desire/greed. After listening to Vegapunk's introduction, Luffy said without hesitation, it's because of greed. Jun, fortunately, it's Red Border Luffy, who can guess the correct answer right away. Kuzan, guess? It should be said to be an accurate judgment. York, adds that Red Border Luffy over there. Vegapunk, York, you idiot. I won't give you a chance to betray me. Saint Jagarcia Saturn, this F*** King viewing system. In the White Border video just now, 5 elders and I have seen the power of the Mother Flame. But the problem is, this is what happened in the future 2 years later at this point in time, the Mother Flame has not been made yet. However, due to the early exposure of the viewing system, all the trick of the world government have been exposed. It made Vegapunk rebel ahead of time, and did not plan to research the Mother Flame. This is an absolutely unforgivable crime for the world government. Nami, please support Buggy. Buggy, go find York and make her lose consciousness in the shortest possible time. Luffy ordered immediately. Although Nami is a girl, but Nami has now awakened her devil fruit, and Armament Haki has entered the threshold of advanced while Observation Haki is also a short distance away from advanced. She can handle them. Okay, Buggy saw Nami coming to fill his spot, and immediately flew over in the direction of the dome at this moment. In front of the spherical portal above the dome, York's figure appeared through the glass portal. She stuck out her tongue at the Vegapunk below. So sorry, but they promised to make me a Tenryou Obito, and there can only be one Vegapunk in this world, the other should be killed too. Buggy punched the glass door, making a loud noise. However, this glass door guard is made of unknown material, and its defense power is extremely strong even under the bombardment of Buggy's advanced armament Haki. There is no crack at all, it's useless. That material can't be destroyed even if Buster Call's artillery hits it. Vegapunk sighed, his face full of worry, thousands of calculations, and he never thought of this outcome. If they can't enter the dome, then they can't take Punk records with him, and they can't bring the fusion furnace that made the Mother Flame. In that case, as long as York is willing to obey the world government, with the Punk record and the fusion furnace, she will be able to create the Mother Flame sooner or later. Wahahaha. You red-nosed idiot, this is a super polymer material made by Vegapunk with the technology from 800 years ago. If you want to destroy it, go practice for another 500 years. Through a glass door, York taunted Buggy mercilessly. Red nose. Hearing this iconic ridicule, Buggy's blood pressure instantly shot up. Just now he didn't know that the glass was so strong, so he planned to use a punch to shatter the glass and York unconscious. If he knew, he wouldn't use that kind of attack. You are courting death. Buggy's eyes turned cold instantly, and he stretched his right hand towards York's neck. York seems to like to mock others, and deliberately raised her neck towards Buggy. However, the next moment, the moment Buggy's hand touched the glass was blurred and instantly shattered into countless particles like fine sand. York was stunned for a moment, and then the proud expression on her face suddenly froze. Ah! Dash! During York's horrified screams, Buggy strangled her neck directly. Red nose? Idiot. Buggy pulls York close to him, and the two look at each other. Buggy's eyes almost burst into flames. Ah! No, 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 no. Suddenly being controlled by the other party, York can no longer maintain the complacent look just now, and suddenly turned into a crying little fairy. Apologize? He. If an apology is useful, then why do you need fists? Speaking, Buggy's left hand covered the rich armament Haki, and then a fierce punch landed on York's face. Boom! The sandbag-sized fist directly covered York's face at this moment. York only felt that his brain was to splash out, and then the world was pitch black. Stop attacking! Vegapunk immediately issued an order to Seraphim. Sure enough, the 4 blazing angels all stopped in an instant. Damn it! Sanji was very upset and kicked the S-Shark again. Just now this guys with swim fruit made him a little uncomfortable. What's the matter with these guys? It looks like they're just human beings. Why are their defenses so strong? Luffy asked with some doubts. Vegapunk explained, that's the bloodline factor I extracted from the body of the Lunaria tribe, so that they have the talent of the Lunaria tribe. See the flames behind them. When the flames are burning at that time, their defense power was almost invincible amount. It's really pervert. Zoro said when he was fighting S-Eagle just now, although he felt that the flame looked familiar, he couldn't remember it for a while. However, the powerful defense of these Seraphim gave Zoro a headache too. Let's go up quickly. Since York has made her move, it means that the world government is very close. We must hurry. Vegapunk knows that time is running out, so he hurriedly urged. Come to the dome. Vegapunk's other clone don't know York's betrayal yet. They are still busy with their own thing. Straw Hate Pirates came to the fusion furnace and asked Frankie to eat the fusion furnace. And Vegapunk himself just brought Jewelry Bonnie to the place where Bartholomew Kuma's memory is stored. Warning Jewelry Bonnie again. This memory is very painful, but she insists on knowing Vegapunk is no longer deny her. When Jewelry Bonnie exited Bartholomew Kuma's memory covered in sweat, she was numb. She couldn't imagine how painful it was. She also understood why Bartholomew Kuma would voluntarily let Vegapunk seal his consciousness. Little Bonnie, now you understand that I'm not lying. Vegapunk handed Jewelry Bonnie a tissue. Jewelry Bonnie bit her lip tightly, trying hard to cry softly, and at this time, the Straw Hat Pirates and their party also came to this room. Did you manage to eat the fusion furnace? Seeing them coming, Vegapunk looked up and asked. That's right. Now I'm a fusion furnace. Supper. Frankie immediately turned on the fusion furnace transformation. They saw Frankie's body become the furnace, and the head became the lid of the furnace. He looked at Vegapunk excitedly, and said, "Vegapunk, now I only need enough raw materials, and I can make the mother flame. This fruit is really convenient. If I met you earlier, many of my researches can be finished early." Looking at Frankie's form, Vegapunk sighed. "Then, without further ado, let's go to Punk Records now." Luffy looked at Vegapunk with a questioning look on his face. "Good." Vegapunk didn't hesitate, and immediately agreed. "Come to the place where Punk Records." Vegapunk took out a small part first, and handed it to Frankie. "This is my knowledge and memory of pirate games, you can swallow it. I will try to continue to receive this part of knowledge, okay?" Frankie took it and swallowed it in one gulp. Chapter 208 Chapter 208 Self-produced and sold. Frankie, activate the Pluton cannon. Now, can you still accept the knowledge and memory pirate games? Frankie looked at Vegapunk and asked with some expectation. "Huh? Seems like it's okay." As he tried it, Vegapunk's old eyes suddenly popped up. Hearing this, Luffy said, "Then try eating a little more, okay?" Vegapunk once again retrieved some storage components of Punk Records. After Frankie ate, "This is amazing." Vegapunk showed joy on his face and said excitedly, "I can still receive my memory." Then, he looked at Frankie and asked, "Is there any time limit after the fusion of the things you swallowed? Will it be lost under certain circumstances?" "No, unless I die, everything I swallow will be fused into my body." Frankie replied affirmatively. "That's great." Hearing this, Vegapunk patted Frankie on the shoulder excitedly, then pointed to the vast Egghead with his other finger. "Young man, eat everything you see with your eyes. Don't mind if I do." Hearing this, Frankie was overjoyed. This island is full of future technology. For him, he wants to eat anything on. After Frankie feast on the entire Egghead Island, apart from the natural mountains and forests, there are nothing left. Even the tables and chairs on the island couldn't escape Frankie's mouth. The things in the warehouse just now. Are there any raw materials for making mother flame? Frankie burped. Look at Vegapunk. Although Frankie can swallow things infinitely, but he has limited brain power to process it all in an instant. When he swallowed too much, he will inevitably forget some. Of course, it might be forgotten by him, but it didn't disappear from his ability pool. He has been swallowing things on the island just now, so he can't remember some things clearly. Originally this was a difficulty that Frankie could not overcome, but now that Vegapunk is here, all this is not a problem. Everything Frankie swallows, Vegapunk can record in his mind as his head gets bigger and bigger. Punk Record can also cut off this part of the brain volume and let Frankie swallow it. On the one hand, Frankie's ability can provide infinite space for cyberpunk records. On the other hand, Vegapunk can clearly record everything Frankie swallowed. This is equivalent to forming a perfect closed loop of cooperation. Yes, that was the energy warehouse just now. There are indeed some raw materials that can make mother flame seeds stored in it, and it should be barely enough to make one. Vegapunk nodded. Hearing Vegapunk's confirmation, Frankie said excitedly, "That's great. Then I'll make a mother flame now." Now, Vegapunk frowned suddenly. Hey. Even if you already have the ability of the fusion furnace, even if the fusion power is turned on to the maximum power, it will take at least 10 days to successfully make the mother flame seed. And the success rate is only 70% right now. The entire Egghead Island has been eaten, and it's time for them to leave. At this time, it is obviously unwise to spend 10 days to make the mother flame. 10 days? No. After realizing Vegapunk's concerns, Frankie suddenly laughed. Haha, 10 days was then, and Frankie only needs 10 seconds. 10 seconds. He thought he heard it wrong. Vegapunk picked his ear, and then looked at Frankie. Make sure Frankie is not joking. Vegapunk stretches his neck forward. Really? Yeah. Frankie fusion furnace transformation form. While speaking, Frankie activated the ability of Munch Fruit. His body size instantly became bigger, and in a blink of an eye, he became a huge fusion furnace. Frankie after transformation, covers an area of 800 square meters. What's even more outrageous is that this huge building has limbs. Wow. So cool. Chopper's eyes are shining, and his face is full of admiration. Frankie fusion manufacturing mother flame. They saw Frankie yelled loudly, and then his legs suddenly parted, making a horse stance. He raises his hands high, and do his signature pose. Super. Super. Chopper, Usopp and Brook posed in this pose at the same time. Then the next moment, the three opened their mouths in surprise at the same time, because Frankie was posing with his back facing them at this time. After the pose was done, his back door was suddenly opened. The back door is like a circular passage, and a beam of light is emitted from it. Then, a cylinder that looks like an hourglass quietly popped out from the back door. 10, 9, 8. As Frankie started to count down, this cylinder actually protruded out piece by piece. 2, 1, 0. As Frankie's countdown ended, they heard a doon sound. The cylinder completely protruded from the circular passage and crashed to the ground. When this scene appeared, the entire chat room was suddenly silent. Next moment, Shiki, Jahaha, this is just too much. Charlotte Linlin, mama. This ability is too much. Vegapunk, it took only 10 seconds to pull out the finished product after eating the raw materials. Even this old are envious of this efficiency. I really want to cooperate with people with Munch Fruit user and take a look. Wapole, that's impossible. I saw I'm in the 5 elders, they can't let me go. If I fall into the hands of the world government, I will be silenced immediately. Nami, stupid Wapole. That's what happened in the future. Besides, now it's not you who see their meeting, but the whole world sees it. Stupid. Vegapunk and this old man has now decided to break the cooperation with the world government. I must not let the tragedy of the Lulusia kingdom happen in reality. Wapole, is that so? then I can think it about it. Since the other party is the most powerful scientist in the world, it must be profitable to be near him. St. J. Garcia Saturn Wapol, it is your wisest choice to cooperate with the world government. St. Marcus Mars, that's right. As long as you help the world government to eat the fusion furnace, we can make you a 10 Ryuabito. Wapol, 10 Ryuabito? Really? Upon hearing this, Wapol immediately felt relieved. Monkey D. Luffy Wapol, I don't care if you want to be a 10 Ryuabito or not, but if you help the world government to create the mother flame, I will definitely beat you up. Wapol, come on. If I become 10 Ryuabitos, I don't have to be afraid of you obviously. Wapol is very interested in what 5 elders said. When the cylinder landed, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates around them all opened their mouths wide, completely petrified. No one would have imagined that the process of Frankie making things turned out to be like this. Mother flame. Vegapunk's 2 eyeballs were to pop out. He stepped forward, grabbed the cylinder in his hands, and looked carefully. Only it seems that this cylinder contains a small blue whirlpool. This whirlpool is spinning rapidly, like a black hole, constantly absorbing everything around it. But because it is stored in this cylinder, it is extremely safe. This is the mother flame, right? Luffy came to Vegapunk's side and grinned. From the looks of it, this is indeed a perfect reproduction of the mother flame, and the energy is 80% of the one I made. Of course, this is because there are only so many raw materials, so it can only reach 80% of the amount. Vegapunk is talking while spinning the cylinder in his hand. Suddenly, Luffy seriously asked, wait. Since you said that the mother flame are our energy source, then, can this mother flame power the Pluton battleship? Hearing this, Vegapunk was surprised and said, Pluton? Isn't that one of the 3 ancient weapons? Do you have that kind of thing too? Yes, we found the Pluton battleship at Wano according to the content of the poneglyph, and let him eat it. Luffy pointed at Frankie. Hiss. Vegapunk was shocked at the same time. Frankie possesses the abilities of Pluton battleship, ancient robot, and fusion furnace. In this way, Frankie himself is a super weapon of war. He thought for a while, then nodded. With the energy level of the mother flame, it should be possible to power up Pluton. Really? Then let me give it a try. Hearing this, Frankie instantly returned to normal form. The power unit under his feet spews out anti-gravity fluctuations, instantly keeping him away from everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates. Frankie Pluton cannon form. Frankie jumps lightly. When a person is in the air, his figure instantly magnifies, turned into a giant cannon in the shape of a pyramid. His limbs are 4 supports. The top of this pyramid is Frankie's head. They saw Frankie's mouth open, and said, Luffy, quickly install the mother flame. Luffy suddenly felt scalp tingling. He looked at Frankie with horrified eyes. Are you sure it's installed here? The other partners of the Straw Hat Pirates also grinned in disbelief. Vegapunk and Jewelry Bonnie are also confused. Hurry up. I'm going to try to see if the Pluton cannon can be activated. Frankie urged. Okay. Luffy resisted the strange feeling in his heart, and grabbed the mother flame. His arm stretches instantly, and he stuffs it directly into Frankie's open mouth just like installing a battery. Click, and fixed the 2 ends of the female tinder on Frankie's upper and lower jaws. Hey, perfect. Frankie laughed loudly, and then started to activate the Pluton cell's mouth. When this scene appeared in front of everyone's eyes, the faces of all the viewers were extremely shocked. Shiki, this kid, is really going further and further on the road of becoming too perverted. Jun, it's really unacceptable. Borsalino, people who become too perverted, it's really scary. Emporio Ivankov, wow. Frankie Boy's super transformation, even a ladyboy has to bow down. Vinsmoke Sanji, hey. Frankie, you've changed so much. Frankie, hey, I feel like I'm getting too perverted over there. Frankie himself is speechless. He never thought that after eating Munch fruit, he would become so. Chapter 209. Chapter 209. Princess Vivi is also a once in 800-year bloodline. With the activation of the Pluton cannon, Frankie's whole body is filled with the brilliant light, as if some kind of high-tech facility has been activated. This thing can really blow up an island. Buggy's eyes widened, and he exclaimed in disbelief. I do not know. Frankie shook his head, and continued, the size of the Pluton guns I have produced now is 1/5 of the Pluton guns on the Pluton battleship. I guess even if 1 shot can't destroy the island, 4 or 5 shots should be able to. However, there is a problem, Frankie said. What's the problem? Vegapunk wondered. Frankie replied, I activated the Pluton cannon just now, and I have a thorough understanding of the Pluton cannon. Its launch system not only requires a powerful energy source like the mother flame, but you may not believe it, but to fire Pluton cannon, biometric identification is needed. Biometrics? What do you mean? Luffy tilted his head, many question marks appeared on his face. Frankie didn't need to say anything. Vegapunk explained, it needs specific biometric authentication to enable it. Since it's ancient weapon, then this biometric should be a certain person, or a certain type of person. Frankie said, yes, Pluton cannon's biological authentication is a bloodline called Nefertari family, and it must be the bloodline of a princess, Nefertari Cobra. What? Is it the blood of our family? Princess? Isn't that Vivi? Hearing what Frankie said in the red border video, Cobra couldn't sit still. If the bloodline of the princess of the Nefertari family is so important, it will definitely be targeted by the world government. Monkey D. Luffy, does Pluton need Vivi to attack? Nami, oops. In the white-framed video just now, Princess Vivi was captured by the CP, that's probably why. Nico Robin, yes. Later, Princess Vivi was taken away by Wapol, but I'm specially ordered 5 elders, saying that she wanted Vivi. When I watched the video, I thought that I wanted to do it because of what happened with Queen Lily 800 years ago, and he wanted to vent his grievances on Vivi, but I didn't expect this to be the reason. Edward Newgate, how can a guy who can be above the 5 elders be stupid? Whoever he wants to catch and kill must have clear intentions. Silver Rayleigh, indeed. Even if the Lulusia kingdom was destroyed with a weapon suspected to be Uranus, I'm afraid it's not because of the Adnir reason. There must be another ulterior motive. Nefertari Cobra, There is no way I will let you get your hands on Vivi. Nefertari Vivi, even if I die, I will never fall into the hands of the world government. Monkey D, Luffy, Vivi, you wait. When the summit war is over, I will pick you up. No one can take you away. Vinsmoke Sanji, little Vivi. We'll definitely pick you up. Nami, yes, Vivi, don't be afraid. We didn't have the ability to protect you before, but now, we have it. Nefertari Vivi, well, I'll wait for you to pick me up, guys. Zoro frowned suddenly. Nefertari? Why is this surname so familiar? You idiot. That's little Vivi's last name. Hearing that Zoro actually forgot all it, Sanji flew into a rage. Princess Vivi's bloodline is so special. Hearing this, Luffy gently rubbed his chin. He looks at Vegapunk and Frankie, that is to say, if we find Vivi now, we can fire the cannon. Frankie nodded and said, in theory, this is the case, but here is a problem. The launch of the Pluton cannon not only requires energy, but also consumes the soul force of the launcher. That is the lifespan. Nanny? Hearing what Frankie said, the face of the black question mark appeared on everyone's face. Usopp opened his mouth wide. How long does it take? How long does it take for one shot? Frankie shook his head. I don't know exactly how much, but it's conservatively estimated that it won't be less than 20 years. So much. Everyone grows their mouths in shock. This is still a conservative estimate. Might actually need more. In other words, a beautiful girl like Princess Vivi, after firing a Pluton, will she become an old hag? It may even be an old woman in her 60s or 70s. This side effect is too scary. Kaido, wait. The Pluton battleship not only needs to be certified by the bloodline of the Princess of Nefertari, but also consumes her life? Then what's the use of this? Even if we find that princess, we can only fire 2 or 3 shots. Charlotte Linlin, idiot Kaido. Do you have any misunderstanding? The 2 or 3 shots of the Pluton battleship? One shot can destroy an island, just like the scene where the Lulusia kingdom was destroyed just now. If you put this kind of thing in your hand, even if it only one shot, it is definitely a terrible thing that can damage everyone. Kaido, huh? Old woman, what you said really woke me up. Ha ha ha. Vegapunk, since the Pluton battleship needs biometric authentication and lifespan consumption, Uranus, which is also an ancient weapon, may also need it. Monkey D. Dragon, it's very possible. I wants Princess Vivi, probably because of Princess Vivi's blood certification, and I'm should have Uranus in his hand, although I don't know why I can launch Uranus without Nefertari bloodline. Marshall D. Teach, here is my bold guess. Could I be the Queen Lily of Alabasta 800 years ago? Zay ha ha ha. Ben Beckman, from the conversation between I'm and Cobra in the video just now, it is unlikely that I'm as Queen Lily from 800 years ago, but judging from what has been done now, it is really necessary to launch Uranus. If the bloodline of the princess of the Nefertari family is certified, then this I may have used some method to take away the body of Queen Lily from 800 years ago. Usopp, hey, your guess is too crazy, but that person was 800 years ago. Even if he took it 800 years ago. How did she survive until now? Ben Beckman, I'm just guessing. Who knows what kind of fruit power I'm has. As for life, if he is really a person from 800 years ago, maybe he did another eternal life surgery to preserve Queen Lily or just take Queen Lily body. Monkey D. Dragon, the analysis is very reasonable. And, as we saw in the video just now, I'm is covered in a black robe. It stands to reason that only the 5 elders know his identity. And when the 5 elders met him, he shouldn't hide himself and show his tail. But he still did it. Charlotte Katakuri, that's right. The reason for doing this can only be, even for the 5 elders, he has something to hide. Monkey D. Dragon, yes, based on the information we know now, there is a high probability that his appearance has changed a lot. He doesn't want the 5 elders to see it. Then can we boldly assume his body is getting very old, or starting to rot? Ben Beckman, so, the reason I wants Vivi is. Monkey D. Dragon, yes, the truth is very likely that, he wants to replace his body with the body of Princess Vivi. During the analysis process of these few people, the entire chat room was extremely silent when the result of the last hypothesis was analyzed. Everyone didn't think this conclusion was absurd from the situation seen in the previous white border video, plus the information from the red border video. With the combination of the two, everything really seems to be like this. Gold Roger, so, the body of Queen Lily from 800 years ago was used by I'm for 800 years. Edward Newgate, very likely. Kong, nonsense. In the past 800 years, there have been countless princesses in Alabasta, why didn't I catch them? Shiki, yo, you are really a good dog in the world government. Knowing who your master is, you started licking it right away. Kong, get out. This old man is just being reasonable. If you can refute me, I won't say anything. Monkey D. Dragon, it's been so long since I've watched the screen, but many things have become very clear. The Mermaid Princess 800 years ago corresponds to the Mermaid Princess today, and the Joy Boy 800 years ago corresponds to the Joy Boy today, so, who is Princess Vivi corresponds to 800 years ago. When Monkey D. Dragon said this, everyone gasped in their hearts in an instant, the hairs stood on end. The answer is obvious. Ben Beckman, Dragon. He pointed out the key point. Maybe. Frankie on the red border video side misunderstood. Pluton and Uranus does not need an ordinary Nefertari family's princess bloodline, but a special princess bloodline that only appears once every 800 years, just like the Poseidon bloodline, and Joyboy, Sengoku. Wait. Why do those special bloodlines all appear in this era? How could it be such a coincidence? Gol D Roger. No, Sengoku, you are thinking wrong. Not all those special bloodlines are concentrated at this time, but because the blood of the king will awaken each other. Don't doubt it. This is the information I got from Raftel. Shiki, understood. I'm afraid that Im's body under the black robe is already rotten, but he didn't want to give up the privilege of activating Uranus, so he kept going. After struggling to support this remnant body, now he finds that Princess Vivi has the same physique as the original Queen Lily, so he wants to take away Princess Vivi's body, isn't that right? Edward Newgate, it seems so. It's just that the only thing that can't be sure is whether this Im is a person who has lived for more than 800 years. Don Quixote da Flamingo, Few Furfur. I can tell you clearly that Im is a person from 800 years ago. And, there is indeed a national treasure in the Holy Land, and it takes lifespan to activate it. Roxty, Xebec, see Ven, if you were a Tenryu Obito when you were young, you haven't been in Marie Joyce for a few years, have you? How can you know this? Don Quixote da Flamingo, Few Furfur. Because when I was 3 or 4 years old, I happened to see that national treasure being activated. St. Jagarcia Saturn, da Flamingo, you're playing with fire. Don Quixote da Flamingo, now the whole world wants my life. What else do I have to be afraid of? Playing with fire or water, no one can control my thoughts. Furoforifer. Edward Newgate, wait. When you were 3 or 4 years old, wasn't that when the Valley of the Gods incident happened? Gol D Roger, hey. This way everything is right. After the Valley of Gods incident, the Valley of Gods disappeared. Thinking it now, isn't it the same as the video just now? Is it the same as the disappearance of the Lulusia kingdom? Shiki, gee ha 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 ha, where's the old dog? Get out. Now I can refute you, you should come here. Kong F asterisk 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 Q. Rox D, Xebec, yo the old dog is angry. Gol D Roger, yo the old dog is angry. Shiki, yo the old dog is angry. Looks like, this Pluton cannon is useless. Luffy sighs slightly. If they just need the blood of Princess Vivi, then he definitely doesn't mind letting Princess Vivi help, but if they want Princess Vivi to consume a huge amount of life, Luffy never do this. After all, it's not to the point where you have to use Pluton to save the world. As long as this thing doesn't fall into the hands of bad guys, then it's fine. By the way, didn't you still integrate that ancient robot soldier? Can that work? Luffy remembered the robot soldier, so he asked again. Let me give it a try. Hearing this, Frankie's tongue showed the function of a spring, which flicked out the mother flame, and then turned back into a human form. The next moment, he began to transform into a robot soldier again. Click, click, click. After a clanging sound, a large mecha appeared in front of everyone. Chopper's eyes light up. Wow. This robot form is so perfect. Usopp opened his mouth wide. This is exactly the same as that ancient machine. That's true. Even Zoro couldn't help but sigh. Put the mother flame in the energy chamber of my mouth. Frankie controlled himself in robot form and opened the chamber. It hasn't changed that much. Luffy complained, then stretched out his arms and put the female flame in. The robot form successfully activated. The next moment, Frankie said it works. But at this moment, Lilith, the clone of Vegapunk number 2, said loudly, the warship from the world government is coming. The mechanical sea beast is under attack. Chapter 210, Chapter 210 Straw Hat Pirate Flag, scare off the 5 elders. The warship of the world government is coming. Vegapunk number 2 clone reminded. Have they come already? Vegapunk frowned slightly, and looked around the empty Egghead Island. Fortunately, everything has been preserved. Before they surrounded the island, I asked the mechanical sea beast to stall them, so we can evacuate. Luffy nodded, okay. Then let's go back to Thousand Sunny. Afterwards, everyone from the Straw Hat Pirates, Vegapunk and Jewelry Bonnie boarded Thousand Sunny. They got too close. We couldn't go into diving mode. Mo's voice comes from the central control room. The warship of the world government has already near. If the Thousand Sunny dives at this time, it will be attacked by intensive artillery fire. Wait. There are also warships from the northeast. That's the direction we want to sail. At this time, Kiwi reported. Vegapunk frowned. It seems that the world government is well prepared. Then get ready to go to war. Faced with this situation, Luffy gave the order without hesitation. Although he doesn't like this kind of large-scale war, but if it is necessary to fight, he will definitely not show mercy. Let me come. I just happen to want to try the power of this robot soldier form. Frankie volunteered. Hearing this, Luffy rubbed his chin. Is that so? That's fine. Try to make it count. Getting Luffy's confirmation, Frankie was in a good mood. He used Jeppo and flew into the air in an instant. Frankie robot soldier form. With the activation of the fruit ability, Frankie becomes a huge steel giant again. He puts the mother flame into the chamber, and the energy transfer is completed. Originally, the steel giant was broken, but Frankie ate a lot of materials, so he used his fruit ability a little bit to make new alloy materials to fuse the broken steel giant into a brand new steel giant. And, this is a steel giant who can use Jeppo. A huge steel spear emerged from his hand as he appeared in front of those warships in an instant. What? Are you kidding? Where did this thing come from? Hurry up and fire. When the Marines on the warship saw this huge robot suddenly approaching, they were all terrified. Boom, boom, boom. The cannons turned their muzzles one by one into the steel giant. Frankie in the form of the steel giant was very excited. He swooped down and rushed down directly facing a large number of shells. Boom, those shells landed on Frankie's body, exploding pieces of flame soaring into the sky. But facing this kind of power, Frankie doesn't even need to use his armament haki, just ignore it. Hey, what a strong defense. Watching Frankie hit the cannonball with his steel body, Sanji pouted and exclaimed. Vegapunk smiled. The shells on the warship can't destroy the defense of the third-generation pacifist, let alone this 800-year-old high-tech mechanical giant. The third-generation pacifista was created by Vegapunk through ancient technology, and the steel giant created by the technology of the peak period is naturally at least a few levels stronger than the third-generation pacifista. Look, Frankie is showing off. Chopper shouted excitedly. He has turned into Frankie's little fan. They saw Frankie's feet land directly on a small warship. Many Marines and agents on the deck were trampled to death by this foot. The rest of the people looked up at this time, and could only see the huge giant's leg. It's like looking up at a skyscraper. These Marine soldiers and agents can clearly feel how small they are at this moment. Frankie holds the steel spear in both hands, and goes directly to a large warship in front of him. Bastard, don't even think about succeeding. A Marine Vice Admiral who looks like a Michelin tire jumps up, and uses Tempest Kick to attack Frankie. Frankie doesn't care this level of damage at all. The steel spear in his hand changes instantly and stabs into the middle of the Marine. What? How could he be so fast? When this Marine Vice Admiral saw the steel spear in Frankie's hand stabbing towards him, his eyeballs were to protrude in his view. The bigger the thing, the worse the mobility should be. The speed of this huge steel giant in front of him is surprisingly fast. He didn't even have time to react. He was already stabbed by this huge spear. Boom! This huge steel spear stabbed the Marine Vice Admiral, and it stabs into a large warship. Frankie stabbed forward with both arms at the same time, and the steel spear that was rubbed out pierced into a medium-sized warship next to him. The next moment, Frankie jumped up hard. Ah! Dash on the decks of these two warships, there were countless screams of panic among the panicked expressions of Marine and the agents. The two warships were picked up by the steel spears, and the hulls were abruptly lifted out of the water by the steel spears. Then, left the sea. Frankie is like holding a skewer, lifting these two warships high. His body suddenly shone with blue light. Powerful electromagnetic energy surges from his body, gathers on his two arms, and then transports them to the spear in unison. Countless electric currents and magnetic fields spread crazily towards the two warships on the spear. Frankie's two steel saw heels make a sharp downward bend. The terrifying gravitational potential energy caused the warship under his feet to sink suddenly. Then, Frankie's knees bounced away, and the small warship under his feet snapped. The Frankie jumped into the air. He raised up the two warships' kebabs he pierced in his hands, and smashed them down at a large warship in front of him. When the three warships collided together, a terrifying explosion exploded. There was a strong energy storm. Everything on those three warships was wiped out. Vin Smoke Judge, is this the power of ancient technology? This strength is too strong. Judge, who has always been committed to the research of scientific and technological combat effectiveness, he looked at Frankie's robot soldier form. He suddenly shouted, "This is the war weapon he want." Edward Newgate, directly ignoring the shell of all warships, and possessing such terrifying power, 800 years ago, what kind of era was it? From the video just now, it is obvious that there was a huge kingdom 800 years ago. The scientific and technological power of that huge kingdom had developed to a high degree. Although it is impossible to see what kind of existence that kingdom is, just from the action of the robot soldier in the video in front of them, they can see the tip of the iceberg of that huge kingdom 800 years ago. Rocksteady, Xebec, having such powerful robot soldiers, it is hard to imagine how that huge kingdom was destroyed. Wapple, hey! This thing is so powerful. If I eat it, wouldn't I be as powerful? Nefertari Vivi, don't dream. Without the mother flame, even if you eat that mechanical giant, you can't use it power. Vegapunk has made it clear that he will never make mother flame for the world government again, meaning Uranus, Pluton can't be used without the mother flame. And this robot also can't start. Vegapunk, this is a machine made for war. Something like this is okay as a deterrent, but if it is put into war, it is really terrible. Wow. Dash everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates watched Frankie action in front of them, and they all danced excitedly. There are 30 warships outflanking from the northeast, and Frankie is like a tiger breaking into the flock at this time. One bite, one baby sheep. Wherever Frankie passes, warships are turned into scrap metal in front of Egghead Island. 100 warships are rapidly approaching on the largest warship in the middle of the formation. There is St. Marcus Mars of 5 elders is sitting in the cabin, drinking tea at this time. Marine Admiral Borsalino came and St. Marcus Mars looked up. Have we arrived in Egghead? Have you issued a warning to Vegapunk? No. Without answering St. Marcus Mars' question, Kizura said with a very bad face, St. Marcus Mars, something is wrong? Suddenly hearing this, St. Marcus Mars frowned immediately. He is happily eating snacks and drinking tea. He thought that Borsalino came in to report the good news, but he didn't expect that as soon as this guy came in, he would immediately say something is wrong. Who would be happy with this? He put down the tea in his hand, and said with a displeased face, what's the situation? St. Marcus Mars, you can see for yourself. Borsalino opens a video. Den mushy. Suddenly, the live broadcast of the warship ahead appeared. They saw on the screen, an extremely tall iron giant, rushing left and right among the warships, slashing wildly. Wherever it passed, no warship can escape from his clutches. Suddenly seeing this scene, St. Marcus Mars almost spewed out everything. Borsalino reacted quickly, a light shield blocked the front, avoiding the tragedy of being sprayed in the face by St. Marcus Mars. Isn't this the robot that attacked the Holy Land a long time ago? St. Marcus Mars's face changed, and finally he slapped his thigh with an angry look on his face. Damn scientists. It seems that they all betrayed the order of the world government and actually kept this robot. Damn it, damn it. Inform everyone to march towards Egghead Island and attack. St. Marcus Mars can become one of the 5 elders, so his IQ is not low. When he saw this robot, he subconsciously thought that it was activated by Vegapunk. Under such circumstances, it is absolutely unwise to confront this steel giant head-on. The smartest way is of course to break through Egghead directly and catch Vegapunk. In that case, through Vegapunk, not only can this robot can stop attacking warships, but they can also take possession of the robot for themselves. It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. No matter from which angle he look at it, it is the most correct way for St. Marcus Mars to order the direct attack on Egghead Island. Unfortunately Borsalino looked embarrassed. St. Marcus Mars, I'm afraid, we can't. Ha! What stupid things are you talking about? I asked you to begin the bombardment of Egghead. Hearing that Borsalino was still giving him bad news, St. Marcus Mars's anger suddenly rushed to his head. No, St. Marcus Mars, please see this. Borsalino put another video Den Mushy in front of St. Marcus Mars on the screen. A large pirate ship is sailing away from Egghead Island and the flag on this pirate ship is Nanny. When St. Marcus Mars saw the pirate flag of the Straw Hat Pirates clearly, he jumped up from his chair in shock. He rubbed his eyes vigorously, then carefully stared at the screen. 2 seconds later, the veins on St. Marcus Mars's face were exposed. Damn it, how could they be here? Then, St. Marcus Mars, shall I give the order to attack now? Borsalino asked in a low voice at this time. No, St. Marcus Mars raised his hand and immediately refused. Then, he ordered without hesitation, quick, return. Loved this story? Hit subscribe and join Infinite Novel to be the first to catch new chapters. Every subscriber brings us closer to more epic novels. Join Infinite Novel today.